Hi, this is Alan with InterviewSuccessFormula.com. This week, I decided to try something different. Look to a movie for interview tips. One of my all-time favorite movies is The Princess Bride. So at the prompting of my sister-in-law, I've explored how the characters in this movie provide lessons about the job search. If you're unfamiliar with the film, or it's been a while, here's the quick plot summary. A farm girl named Buttercup, whose childhood love Wesley is lost at sea after a pirate attack, will soon become the bride of her kingdom's prince, Humperdink. However, shortly before the wedding, she's kidnapped by three men, a swordsman named Inigo, a giant named Fezzik, and a not-so-clever mastermind named Vicene. Ultimately, she's rescued by her childhood love, Wesley, also known as the Man in Black, and she escapes marrying the less-than-noble Prince Humperdink. Alright, so what can we learn from these characters? Let's take a look at each one. The first is Wesley, aka the Man in Black, whose quote throughout the movie is best defined by, "Death can't defeat true love." Now, out of his love for Buttercup, Wesley defeats a master swordsman, outsmarts a mastermind, overcomes a giant's strength, and also takes on human-sized rodents, quicksand, fire pits, and death too. So how does this apply to the job search? Well, think about how you can overcome obstacles and bounce back from rejection, because if you're truly passionate about the work, keep pursuing it, and eventually it can come to you. Next is that mastermind Vicene, who over and over again says, "inconceivable." As the mastermind kidnapper, he actually lets his ego be the thing that defeats him. He thinks that for him to be outmaneuvered is just inconceivable because he's just so brilliant, and as a result, he actually poisons himself. So how does this apply to a job interview? Don't let your preconceived notions or ego cloud reality. Do your research and ask questions so that you understand each job and each company. You need to win the job by proving yourself at the interview and not rely on any factor, like brilliance, to carry you. Next is Inigo, who at the end chants his name, "My name is Inigo Montoya." Inigo has sworn revenge for his father, who was slain by a six-fingered man, and after 20 years of daily sword training, Inigo ultimately defeats his father's slayer. So how does this apply to the job interview? Practice. The more you can train, prepare, and practice, the better off you'll be, as Inigo found out. Now, Fezzik the giant carries the kidnappers up a cliff, revives his friend Inigo from a drunken state, finds four white horses to help his friends ride into the sunset. Along the way, he wins the hearts of his friends and the movie audience. Alright, so how does this apply to the job search? I know that job searching is fundamentally about helping oneself, yet if you do see the opportunity to help others along the way, really try to do so. It can pay out dividends in the long run. Humperdink the Prince has every advantage, including money and powerful friends. Yet at the end of the film, he finds himself tied to a chair, surrendering to a Wesley who can barely stand, and saying, "I knew he was bluffing." So how does this apply to the job search? Well, having powerful allies can help you get so far. It can often get your resume looked at, even get you invited for an interview, or seriously considered for the job. Still, at the end of the day, it's you, your effort, and your persistence that determines where you end up. You have to count on yourself and help yourself to achieve your goals. Now, Miracle Max brings Wesley back to life. Despite his healing skills, he was fired from his job as the royal family's physician, and instead of looking for new opportunities, he becomes bitter about his past employer and shuts himself in, cursing his old boss Humperdink along the way. So we all know someone who's let bitterness get in the way of their future successes. Just let it hold them back. Know that whatever's happened in your past, the only thing that you can do is move forward.